On September 12th, 2020, we started this nickel hunt and fill series. It only took us 57 boxes on May 30th, 2021 to just need the 1950D. Since then, we have hunted 108 boxes and we've hunted 165 in total, and we still need the 50D. Can episode 97 and or boxes 166 and 167 finally be the episode we find that 50D? Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure. Welcome back to my channel. Like I said in the intro, we're on the quest for that 50D. In front of me, I have two more boxes. One is from the bank that I got those uncirculated 1960s from, and this bank box is from the last hunt that we did where we had pretty good luck. So I'm hoping that these two boxes give us some good finds. That being said, we'll give you a look at the album at the end of the hunt after we've hunted all 100 rolls so that we can compare the finds to the books. Now, for this hunt, I do want to find some varieties. That'd be cool. I'm obviously going to be looking for any Silver War nickels, any Buffalo nickels, and especially a 39S or a 50D. Now, I'm going to slide these out of the way, and before I open the boxes live, I just want to make a quick reminder that if you're new to the channel or new to the series, even though this is episode 97, I have the very first episode that we started on September 12th, 2020 in the entire playlist linked both down below in the video description as well as pinned up here. Now, I'm going to remove this card out of the way, and we're going to begin with this first box and just pop it live and see if we have anything that is fancy schmancy, if I can get into it. Holy cow. All right, looks like we have some older Jeffersons, but pretty much like I always see, a pretty good mix of newer ones as well. Be curious to see what year this one is when we get to it, but in the meantime, we're going to start cracking rolls. And as you guys know, as soon as I have a find, I'll be bringing you in. Fingers crossed, we find some goodies in these 100 rolls. Well, it looks like we're going to have a find in the very first roll. It's not going to be a nickel we need. It's going to be a 4, and it's going to be a Mexican peso. And it's going to be from 2019. We'll take that. 2019 Mexican peso to kick us off. Can't get mad at that. I've actually hunted rolls of Mexican pesos before. Let's get back to the hunt, though, and find some Jefferson nickels we need. Roll number 8. Our first nickel find from the 40s is going to be a 1946 Philadelphia. Roll number 27. Our second 40s find of the box is actually going to be a 1948. 1948 Denver. Same roll, it was reverse facing. Another oldie, 1946 Philadelphia again. Roll number 29. Our first nickel from 1949. 49 Denver. So we'll just quickly check it for that D over S, which I don't see. But we'll take a lower minted 1949D any day of the week. Roll number 30. Back of the roll luck, our oldest Jefferson find yet, a 1941 Denver. Roll number 34 is going to give me a find that I just love finding in my nickel hunts. It's going to be another Buffalo, and I see it peeking out, and it looks trashed. Let's take a peek together. And it definitely is a Type 2 or Variety 2 with the flat mound. Buffalo nickel. And I don't think we're going to get a date off that. Let's just double check it for a mint mark. I don't see a mint mark. There's damage there. And let's just see if we can see any of the date. Yeah, that's going to be tough. I hate nickodating nickels, but when you don't have a date and you don't see a mint mark, sometimes you just got to do it. Let's go ahead and nickodate it. Maybe I'll even clean off some of this gunk, and we'll see if we can get a good year and double check for a mint mark, which I don't think there's going to be one, but let's make sure. I'll be back after I've nickodated it. Well, we used our trusty nickodate, and it did do the trick. You guys might be able to catch a glimpse of it here. It's going to be a 1913, so it's a first year Type 2. I did nickodate the back. just to make sure since it was a Type 2 1913, but it's Philadelphia. First year Buffalo nickel in pretty tough shape, 1913p. We'll take it. Can't get mad at finding those while you hunt nickels. Roll number 38 is going to have a 1947 nickel in it. And this 1947 nickel is from Philly. We'll take it. Got the 46, 47, 48, and 49. Just need that 50. Roll number 40. Got another 1941 Jefferson nickel from Philadelphia. Roll number 50 of the box. Another 1949 nickel. 1949, Philadelphia this time. Well, we finished that first box of the 2-box hunt. Kind of a light box, but not that bad. We do have 18 finds on the board. One of them being a Buffalo nickel, and then one of them being a Mexican peso from 2019. I pulled out a couple of nickels to check against the album, the more modern ones. And for funsies, I kind of like the toning on this 84p. So I went ahead and pulled it out. Don't know if I'll keep it, but it's kind of cool looking. We'll have to see. For now, we'll put it on the board and keep it up there and see if we can do a little bit better in the next box. Be nice to see another Buffalo or silver or something for the books. Let me slide this box over, remove all the discards out of the way, and do a live opening next. All right, box number 2. Hopefully, we have a little bit easier time opening this box. Feels like we might, but you never know. This is the bank that had the 39 Philadelphia barrage in one of the 2 boxes we got last time from it. Judging by what I see here, looks like it's more of the same, but we do have quite a few older Jefferson designs. So maybe, just maybe, we'll have something in this box to get excited about. Oh, this box is going to give us something to get excited about, all right. Let's go. All right, I'll be back if and when we have a find in box number 2 of the hunt. Roll number 3 of box 2, we have our first 40s find. It's just going to be another 1941 Philadelphia, and I'll make mention, so far in the first 3 rolls, we had 359Ds as well. So a lot of finds, 4 finds so far through the first 3 rolls, almost. So could be a good box, unless we just keep getting a bunch of 59Ds in it, of course. Well, roll number 4 of the second box, and I told you it's from the 39 Barrage Bank, and sure enough, we're going to have our first chance at a 39S because we've got a 1939 with a little bit of paint on it in front of us. Is there a mint mark? And more importantly, is there an S? And there's not. Another 39P. Let's just double check it for any of the doubling on the reverse, which I don't see. And it's most certainly a 39 Philadelphia yet again. We'll take it. Oldest Jefferson nickel so far. Roll number 67. We've got our second oldest Jefferson nickel we found. First from 1940. It's a 1940 Philadelphia. And while I have you here, recently we did find a pretty nice 1959, but it's a Philly, and that's a little bit lower mintage, so I figured I'd point it out. It's a nice find. I'll be holding on to it regardless whether it's an upgrade or not, since it is a lower mintage. All right. Back to the hunt. 33 rolls to go, plus this one. Same roll, and I wasn't going to show the nice 52S we just found, but it is a lower mintage as well. But I brought you in because we got another 1959, and I already checked it. It's another Philly. Not as nice of condition, but a lower mint again. So a couple of lower minted nickels in that roll. Maybe the box is going to heat up for us. Roll number 68, and only because we have found some lower minted nickels am I even going to show this just in case. We've got a pretty nice Denver minted older Jefferson strike. Is it a 50D? And it's not. It's a 1963D in nice shape. We'll take it. It's a nice nickel. Had to make sure just in case it would have been the 50D. Roll 69, and the finds are definitely heating up. We just grabbed the 1958 Denver, and it was an ender. So let me just make sure that's a 58. Yeah, 58 Denver. Not a big deal there, but right behind it was a 1942, and it doesn't look silver, but hopefully it's a 42D. And it's not, just a 42P, but still a better mint again. So definitely finding some goodies. Lots of rolls left. Roll number 70, 1949 nickel. 1949, Philadelphia. Roll number 74, just grabbed a 53S out of the previous roll. And now we've got a 1947. I think that's Denver, but let's just make sure. And it is 1947 Denver with a 53S in the same roll. Same roll, and we just grabbed a 51P. So now we just need a 50-something. And we've got a pretty nice, although it's got some gunk on it, 1941. And I think that's a San Francisco. And it is. Let me look at that min mark the other way. No, 1941S as well. I know I'm filming a lot, but this box is actually pretty exciting. We just grabbed a 52D, so now I have a 52 PD and S, and I thought I saw silver by the edge, and when I laid out the roll, I'm pretty certain that this is going to be our first silver war nickel of the hunt, and it is 1943 Philly. We don't need it, but there is a 3/2 overdate, which it is gunked up, but I don't see it. And there's also a doubled I, and they're hard to see on these older struck, more worn 43Ps. But either way, that's our first silver war nickel of the hunt to go along with that buffalo we found from the first box. This box, the finds are adding up in a hurry, and we're not even just barely halfway through the box right now. Let's find more. Same roll, and we will have more finds. A 1948 Denver this time. Same roll, and I'm still filming because we just grabbed the 1956 Philly, and right behind it is a 1955 better date Philly. Less than 10 million of those minted. It's not in great shape, but man, this box is just loaded with early finds and not semi-key, but better date finds as well. All right, back to the hunt. Just finished that same roll, and we added a 58P better date, a 57P, and a 56P again. Holy smokes. Hopefully this box stays hot. Very next roll. Two more tougher dates. Another 1955 Philadelphia and another 1958 Philadelphia. Same roll. And let's add a 1946 Denver to the board. Roll number 79, and we're going to have a few finds, or at least I think we are, and I'll get to the second one in a second. But we've got a 1948 Philadelphia. And take a look at the edge of this one. Is that going to be another one of those 1960 uncirculateds? Well, it's got no Denver mint mark, so we know it's a Philly, but man, that is nice. No full steps, though. Probably in the 60s based on what I see on the reverse. And it is. Holy cow, that's a nice 1965. We don't need a nice 1965 that I can remember, but man, what a beauty. We'll add that to the board, and now I have a nice 61, 62, 63, and 65 to go along with a myriad of finds. And this might be my most early Jeffersons I found in a box. And we still have 21 rolls to go, plus the rest of this one. Roll number 84. Another 1941 Jefferson nickel, minted in Philly. Still on the same roll, and we have another 1941 nickel. Also from Philadelphia. Roll number 85. We're going to have another uncirculated older Jefferson, Philadelphia. And this one looks a little better. Are there any steps on this one? Not really. So it's probably going to be in the 60s. Same one, 1965. Man, those are beautiful nickels. Love seeing them. We've got almost every year and almost every mint covered for a lot of the years. No 50s yet. Roll number 91. Looks like we're going to have our first penny of the nickel hunt. Oh, and I'll make mention we found another 1959P and a nice 55D. Unbelievable. All right. Let's see what year this penny is. It's going to be definitely pre-2009. 2007 Denver. Just lost 4 cents. Same roll. Just grabbed another 1957 Philly, but I bring you in because we've got a 1948 Philly as well. Roll number 93. Yet another Jefferson find from 1948. And that's going to be a 1948 Denver. Same roll. And take a look at this date. We are going to have a 1950 nickel in this box, and it's got to be a collection dump. I will say, though, based on the condition, I doubt it will have the Denver, but at least it's been an exciting box, and we definitely have a 1950 semi-key. Will it have a Denver to end the series? And it does. It does have a Denver. It's faint, but that's a 1950 Denver nickel. We have done it. We have found the 50D. Unbelievable. This box has been super exciting. And we have finally found a 50D, and I didn't think this was going to be a 50D. I thought for sure, based on the wear, it was just going to be a 1950. I had something special planned, I guess, for the celebration. I just didn't think it was going to happen, and it did. Box 167. We are down to the last 7 rolls of this box. It made us wait, but we have found it. Yeah, that's a 50D. Unbelievable. We are going to complete the Series 1 book. And because we are, and because there's so many finds, I might consider starting another book side by side with the second series to keep it going. We'll see. Let me get back to the hunt. And yeah, great box. I'll see you guys on the next find. Roll number 94, and they just keep adding up. A 54D, a 55D, and a 56P, literally within 4 or 5 coins of each other. We'll add those to the board, and since I already have you here, in case there's another early find, we'll just finish the roll. And of course there's not. 3 more 50s for the board. Roll number 95, and it just keeps getting better. Just found another 1959 P low mint, and take a look what's peeking out. Another Buffalo nickel in the box. I might get a date off it. And I don't think it has a mint mark. Let me just double check. Yeah, no mint mark. And I did see a little bit of detail at the date. And I think that's going to be a 1915 or 16. I think I see a 1 and of course a 9. And I think that's a 1. And that's either a 5 or a 6. I guess it could be an 8, but I think it's a 15, 16, or 18. You know, it could also be a 13 with damage, but I don't think so. Let me work on this nickel, see if I can get a date without having to nicodate it, because that would be a lot better. We know it's a Philadelphia mint, but let me just double check it, and I'll come back with my findings. All right, I do not need to nicodate it, and I don't know how well this is going to come out on camera, but it is definitely a 1916. And again, I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you'll just take my word for it, but I was able to scope it, and I can see, maybe right there you can see it. See the 6 at the end? 1916 Philadelphia minted Buffalo nickel. Didn't need to nicodate it. That's a couple of Buffalo finds. Still 5+ rolls to go. Roll number 97. We've seen this date a lot. 1948 Philadelphia. Roll number 100, and in my excitement, I missed it by its edge. And it is a tough one to see, but the very front coin is going to end up being a war nickel. Another 1943, and this time San Francisco. Didn't even notice it till I saw the date, but we'll take it. 43S is not necessarily a really low mint, but it's definitely not highly minted either. And we'll take that for the board. 2 Buffaloes, 2 Silvers. And you know what? We have you here. It's already a long video. Let's see what else we got. There's a pretty nice 1961 Philly. We'll just pull it aside for now. And see if we have any other finds while I have you here. And we will. 1946, Philadelphia. We got an 04. It's a Denver. And another 1946, Philadelphia. And that's going to do it. Man, I didn't want this hunt to end, but that's a lot on the board. Let me add them up and get you guys a proper recap, and then we'll see what we have for the book. But we know we already have the one we've been looking for forever. 1950, Denver. I'll be back in just a second with a proper recap. Well, holy cow, that is a lot of finds, and I have to assume it's a collection dump. From the 50s in the 2 boxes, 46 coins were found. Most of them represented by different years and mints, and I had a ton of lower mintage 55p, 57p, 58p, and 59p's, which I just don't see in my area. I'll point out we had a full 54 PDNS set, a full 52 PDNS set, and then a 53S, which is tougher. We had a 1951 Philly, and of course, the 50D. For the 40s, we had 26 finds, a lot of different years and mints as well, but we definitely got 2 silver war nickels. Both were 1943, a Philly and a San Francisco. For the 30s, only 139, and it was a 39p, although it's in pretty nice shape, minus that little bit of paint on there. Definitely a decent find, and we found a whole bunch of them in the last box from that bank. 2 Buffalo nickels, a 1913 Type 2 Philadelphia, and a 1916 Philadelphia, not the DDO if you're wondering. Or at least not that I could see. We got a peso and a penny. We got that cool toner. And we got 7 nice coins from the 60s. 61 P&D, I believe P&D. 62D, 63D, 64D, and 2 1965 billion uncirculated. Beautiful coins there as well. And then I even pulled aside a nice 1984 with the mint mark to take a peek at against the album. I think what I'm going to do is compare all these finds to the first album and then complete it with that 50D. Then compare all the finds again to the second album, upgrade any that might need upgrading. And then after I do all that, I did grab, because I happen to have this 1938 to 1961 Jefferson Nickel book. I'm just curious to see how much from just this couple of box hunt we can fill up in this book. I wish I would have saved the other 2 boxes where we had that 32 coin find in that first box of this bank, and then the second one was kind of a dud. But I wish I had those to see what other ones we could have filled in, but I don't have them anymore. Either way, Series 1 will be complete when I finish this coin comparison to the book, and we'll have to make a decision on what we do for the second book here. Probably keep it going, though, to see if we can beat 167 boxes, but we're still going to need a 50D and a 39S. I will make one last mention. I know this video is long, but it's not lost on me that the only key date we got was the 50D. We didn't get a 38 DRS. We didn't get a 39 DRS. We also didn't get the 1950 better date, and we didn't get any of these other estimated ones as well. So that was kind of a strange thing, but it definitely was either from someone's recent album or rolls, and we happen to get the bulk of it in this box. And I will be going back to that bank tomorrow to maybe grab another box just to see if we can get lucky and find some more goodies, because there was stuff from the beginning of the box to the end, although most of it was in the back. All right, I've got a lot of comparison to do. Let me do that, and I'll come back with a recap. All right, I've combed through all the finds, and I took the best of every year in mint, or multiple ones if I couldn't make a decision, and that's going to be the discards right there. But I want to give you a quick look at the 1959 P&D, 58 P&D, 57 P&D, 56P, no 56D, 55P we had 2, 155D, 54 PDNS, 53S, 52 PDNS, 51P, 50D, and then in the 49s, we got 49, Right here we got 49 P and D, 48 P and D, 47 P and D, 46 P and D. No 45 or 44 war nickels, 43 P and S, 42 P, and then we got the 41 P, D, and S, the 40 P, and the 39 P. Crazy, and they're all in pretty decent shape for being as old as they are. Now that we have them sorted, I'll have to compare to the books. Quick update, let me do that next, and then I'll bring you back. Well, we've done it. We've compared all of the finds to both albums, and ironically, we could not upgrade not one nickel in either of the books. The nickels we found were very nice, but we have such nice nickels, and the ones we needed to upgrade, we didn't find during the hunt. But that being said, I've waited forever to do this. 1950 Denver, just making sure one last time, into the slot. We have now completed the first series album. Took us 167 boxes, but it is complete. 138 spots out of 138 spots filled. Because it's the end of the series, I am going to take a little more time and just once again show you guys the beautifulness of the coins. And if you want to go faster through this, you can, but I'm just going to show them off pretty quickly. That way you can see them all. We have a lot of beautiful high-grade nickels in here. And this is all from coin roll hunting. Yeah, there are a few I wish I could get better examples of, like the war nickels, but in circulation, that's what you're going to get. Outside of those, and maybe this 38S, this 38D could be slightly better. The 39D and S could be slightly better. Yes, the 50D could be better, and typically I find them better in circulation. Outside of a few war nickels and a few key dates not being perfect, this is a really nice album in its totality. We are now done with this book, so I'm going to go ahead and close it up. I will be adding a sticker to the front that indicates this Hunt and Fill series is complete, and I'm probably going to offer this up sometime this week for those that have interest in maybe owning this kind of historical book, if you will. I already have a complete Jefferson Nickels album, so I don't need a second one. We'll have to see how that goes. That being said, we're going to continue the Hunt and Fill series now with just this book, but I did promise that I would fill another book up, and I did take the liberty of, after comparing all the finds, seeing what we would have got from that basically 2-box hunt, although really only 1 box. There's 65 spots in this album, and from today's hunt, we were able to fill 35 of them. Now, if I would have kept the 50D in this book, which you know I wouldn't do, we would have had 36 finds, and if I were to go through my rolls, I could complete this album as well. But we'll probably keep this as a side book and see what we get. Sorry for the yellow glare. Whenever there's blue, we get a little yellow color like when I wear my blue gloves. But definitely some really nice nickels in here too. And although there are a few ones that we'd love to replace, and we might throughout the next several hunts, they definitely look good. And again, sorry for the yellow glare with the blue correction. But yeah, man, can't get mad at that. 35 spots filled. I did use the 2 war nickels in here. I have 2 replacements for the silver jar to put in the silver jar to keep everything kosher for the 2022 silver counts. I thoroughly enjoyed this hunt. I'm hoping you guys did too. And hopefully you're not disappointed that we're going to continue with the Series 2 book. And we'll see how many boxes it takes us to fill that. And while we're doing that, we'll put that as a second book and just use the finds that we have to upgrade and or add to this book as a little side book. If you guys did enjoy the hunt, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting. And thanks for watching. It feels great finally completing this Hunt and Fill series, especially since it took 167 boxes. But we got some goodies for the silver jar. And we can't forget about him, can we?